A very warm welcome to our top three qualifiers for the FIA Formula One Austrian Grand Prix. In third place, Lewis Hamilton. In second place, Charles Leclerc. And taking the 11th pole position of his Formula One career, our pole sitter, George Russell. A brilliant final lap there, George, of Q3. Let's start with, where did you find the time? It was so much better than anything else we saw from you in the session.
If I had the answer, we'd be on pole every week, to be honest. I said on Thursday, it's like when the car clicks and the tyres work and it just gets into that sweet spot, a huge amount of lap time comes from nowhere. And I had a really difficult session. I was almost out in Q2. My first lap in Q3 was strong. And then I just went around turn 1 on my final lap, and I was a tenth and a half up. And then turn 3, another tenth and a half up. And turn 4, another tenth and a half. And the lap was unbelievable. And then obviously I got that yellow flag in, a single yellow in the last sector. But I did a 100-meter lift, lost a huge amount of time. And still, you know, I don't know. I don't have the answer for sure. I'll be looking with my team where it came from, but it felt very, very sweet.
What did you change on the car between run 1 and run 2 of Q3? No,
it was just a little bit of how I brought the tyres in, changing a little bit of front wing as well. But it's one of those, when you nail turn 1 and you go through fast, but the car doesn't slide, it keeps the temperatures a little bit down, so the tyres are cooler approaching the next turn, and then you have more grip, so you go through there faster, and the tyres are cooler once again. And it's this sort of upward spiral, and equally, if you have a bad turn 1, you're on this downward spiral, and it just clicked. It's just one of those magic laps, and just so pleased, because it's been a real tough run for me. But, you know, like Toso said to me in Q2, just like enjoy it. Just enjoy the drive, and said the same ahead of Q3, just go out and enjoy it. And I said that to myself, just don't overdrive it, just enjoy it, because it's quite a cool thing that we do.
You just touched on it then. Do you think you have been overdriving?
There's definitely a factor of that. But it's so difficult, because if you're on the back foot, and you're off the pace by a tenth or 2 or 3, to then say, I'm going to try less hard, it doesn't compute. You know, when things aren't going your way, you always want to do more and more and more. And when you're in the car, to say that I'm going to approach this corner and I'm going to brake 5 meters earlier than the lap before, that's just not how our brains work. But sometimes that is the faster way.
And when you saw the yellow flag on that final run, were you tempted to abort? I mean, you say you lifted off, but could you just talk us through the thought process?
Yeah, well, it's a corner where you can see quite a lot, and I just did a huge lift, and I was going to assess the situation as soon as I got to the corner, if the car was there. But as it was a single yellow, I was pretty confident there was no danger. And as soon as I turned into the corner, I already saw the green up ahead, and I actually thought the car had continued because I didn't see the car at all. It was so far off the track, I didn't see the car whatsoever. And it was only when I saw the replay afterwards I saw it was well off into the wall. So yeah, I was glad common sense prevailed there, because yeah.
All right, throw it forward to tomorrow. You've nailed the pole today. High track temperatures, like last time out in Barcelona. You've got the red cars all around you at the start. Just give us your thoughts on what the main challenges are going to be in this Grand Prix.
Well, these guys are super fast, and it's going to be a challenge having the two of them nearby. We saw Lewis in Barcelona, how great his pace was. I think it will be challenging for them to overtake us in the straights, because we've got the straight line advantage, but they've got the advantage in the corners. And, if they're splitting the strategy or putting us under pressure, it may be difficult to hold on to. And of course, Kimi's going to be super fast. The McLarens have looked really fast. Max, I don't know how his last lap was looking, but, he was right up there as well with those new upgrades for Red Bull. So there's a huge fight on our hands from all angles.
All right, George, very well done to you. Thank you for that. Charles, let's come to you now. George just mentioned upgrades. There's more on the Ferrari this weekend. Just tell us about the performance of the car in that qualifying session for you.
Yeah, the car is feeling good, and I think the team is pushing like crazy at the moment, which is really nice to see. In Barcelona, we had a big package, but everybody's pushing like crazy to try and product those upgrades as quickly as possible and bring them to the track also as quickly as possible, and it's definitely paying off. So that's really good to see. My qualifying was quite tricky, honestly. The car. On braking, I was really struggling quite a lot from Q1 to the last lap in Q3. I managed to do a bit of a better lap in Q3, which I'm happy of. I thought at one point that I'll have pole, but George was just too quick. But the first line is good, especially after the last couple of races where the feeling wasn't there in Canada and Monaco. In Barcelona, unfortunately, there was the technical issue that cost us a few more points. And to be back with a bit more of a normal weekend feels good. I needed that.
What was the key to your pace in Q3? Did you change anything in the way you drove, change anything in the car?
Honestly, it wasn't a very special lap. It's the kind of laps where, as I said, I just wanted a clean qualifying. I just wanted a clean lap. And so when you are in this mindset, maybe you leave a little bit of margin on the table. But I don't regret it because I wouldn't have beaten George anyway. So second is the best we could do today.
Okay, what about tomorrow? Second today, first tomorrow. How do you see it?
I really hope so, but it's very strange because yesterday was a very tough day for the team. I think we were struggling a lot as a team, and today we did a big step forward. I did not expect, and I think as a team we did not expect to be in front of the McLarens, particularly, and close to the Mercedes. So that's a good surprise. Then for the race in itself, I think we did a step forward with the car for tomorrow. Whether this will be enough to challenge the Mercedes, I doubt so, but if there's an opportunity, I'll do everything to take it.
All right, very well done to you. Thank you, Charles. Lewis, let's come to you now. If you'd had 2 runs in Q3, what do you think? Was pole possible?
I don't know whether we could do the same time as those guys. They've been quick all weekend, so congrats to George. But otherwise, it's amazing to be up here with Charles. I think it's such a great showing for Ferrari. And just really, it really is a reflection of just the hard work that everyone's been putting in back at the factory. We got the new upgrade this weekend on the engine, which is a slight step forwards. And then we also brought a couple of little pieces on the car. So it's just every weekend, it's really great to see them pushing so much and just continuing to bring these pieces that you could tell they're hungry and they're pushing, which I'm really proud of. And that's why we're up here and as close as we are. Yesterday we were like 6/10 off in a straight line, and somehow today we're closer. So unfortunately, the weekend had been pretty good. This morning in P3 I felt good with the laps, and then got to qualifying and struggled a little bit more with the balance, particularly on the brakes. And then Q3 made a mistake in turn 1, then turn 3, and lost that lap. That really puts you on the back foot naturally because you've got to squeeze out a lap. So given that I missed that first lap, I'm pretty happy with that.
Okay, let's throw it forward to tomorrow. After everything you did in Barcelona last time out in very hot track conditions, how confident are you that you can take the win again?
I think this weekend we've not been confident that we could fight for a win. These guys have been 6/10 quicker than us most of the weekend. We closed the gap overnight. 3/10, and but we still are 3/10 down today, or 2 and a bit tenths down today. So it's going to be very tough to challenge them tomorrow. But it's a long run down to turn 3. Hopefully, together we can. Now it's great having Charles up here as well because we can hopefully work together in strategy and try to apply pressure to them.
All right. Good luck with that. Thank you, Lewis. Let's open this to the floor. Name and publication, please.
Hello, James Phillips, Motorsport Monday. Question for Lewis. Austria is a very different circuit to Barcelona. Are you confident of continuing to take the fight to Mercedes in a sustained way for the rest of the year? And can I just ask what the measure of success is for the new upgrade on the engine? Thank you.
I don't think we have a measure of success. We just want to continue to be moving forwards and trying to get closer. We knew coming into this weekend would be tough with the long straights. We got here and the deficit looked bigger than other circuits that we've been at. Maybe it's altitude, I'm not sure. I can't really predict what's going to happen in the future. Just I know when we get to the long straight circuits, it's going to be our Achilles heel for a while. But as I said, I'm really proud of the team for continuing to work. We got this upgrade. That's the first step, but we need to make a bigger step naturally to really close the gap with them.
Okay, thank you for that. Next.
Joel Godina, Formula Gottage. Charles, you went from saying on Friday that the car was sliding everywhere to put the car in front at the end of Q3. How many changes have you made overnight, and how is the feeling in the car after you changed the brake configuration after Monaco?
We changed quite a lot, actually. Not big steps, but a little bit everywhere. So at the end, it ended up being quite a big difference. Then, yeah, I think after Monaco, there's been many things that have changed, and the feeling was better in Barcelona. It's still not yet where I want to be. And as I said, no, in qualifying, I didn't feel as confident as I've been in the past, where I just go all in and I know exactly what the car is going to do. This is not the feeling that I have at the moment, and this is where I want to focus on. But yeah, every time I struggled in the past and that I put effort in it, normally things go better. So that's already a first step, but that's not where I want to stop. And then that was your question. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Next.
Ludo van den GP blog. George, how important is it for you to beat Kimi now after such a long period mentally and for your confidence?
Sorry,
how important is it for you for your confidence and mentally to beat Kimi now?
I mean, it's the 8th race of the season. It's my 4th pole, but I've never been able to really convert into a good result. So it has, moments like this, it's like confidence is restored. And like Charles was just saying, it last year, every lap, every session, I just had the confidence in the car to just push it to the limit and know exactly what it was going to do. And I think for Charles, one of the best, definitely qualifiers on the grid was the same. And for both of us, it has been challenging a lot at times, but we haven't just forgotten how to drive. And there is definitely an element of understanding what this car needs, what these tyres need in different conditions. And, Kimi's just done an amazing job day in, day out. Do I have the confidence I can beat him? Yeah, 100%. I just need to get that click as I found again today, as I had in Barcelona, as I had in Canada, as I had in Melbourne, as I showed in China. And then, the results will come at some point in the races. It can't continuously be bad luck over a course of a season. So, yeah, feeling good.
Thank you. Next.
Lawrence Emerson, ESPN. A question to George. You mentioned the message from Toto. We heard the one over the team radio. I don't know if he said anything else, but how helpful are those messages kind of midway through a session to help you refocus? Because sometimes they sound a little bit more like an order than support, but how helpful are they?
That's probably the Austrian accent, to be honest. No, I think knowing that your boss has 100% faith and confidence in you, he's been the one who has been the first to pick me up throughout the season when things haven't been going right and reminded me, like, you haven't forgotten how to drive, and I know the speed you've got. And we speak every single day, and those little messages, they kind of throw me to conversations that we have, on a personal level between races as such. So, maybe for you sort of listening, not knowing the context, for me, it means a lot, and, reminds me of those chats we've had, and reminds me that, yeah, I can do it. I've done it my whole career. There's no reason why I can't do it again today.
Thank you, George. Next.
Rodrigo França, Car Magazine, Brazil. Question to all. In pre-season test, a lot of drivers were complaining about the new rules. And after so many upgrades in the cars and changes, does the F1 car feels better to drive? And do you see Formula One in a good moment as a sport now?
I think the evolution with the regulation change from Japan onwards has been very good. The cars do feel much nicer to drive. I think the one issue that all of the drivers are complaining about are the tyre pressures. But from what we hear and understand, Pirelli are trying to make improvements there. You know, there's a strange rule that they have to take into consideration if a team's SM fails. And then there's much more downforce on the car. And then they need to take compensation by 2 or 3 PSI for this. But you know, for all of us, it feels like you have big balloons you're driving on. And if they could make that step, I think it would be much better for the drivers, much better for racing, less overheating. We could fight even closer. I think that would be the next big step.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you ask me what do I prefer between this year's cars or last year's cars, I think last year's cars we could still push to these cars to the absolute limit. On some tracks, it's true what George says that it's getting better, but still you've got this energy management in mind on a track like this. By example, it was less the case in Barcelona or in Monaco, but there are still those tracks where you've got to keep that in mind, and that is a little bit less pleasure inside the car, but it's like this for now, and I'm sure things will improve.
Okay, thanks all. Next.
Valhernji, the race. A question to George. George, you said common sense prevailed, and apologies if this is a bit annoying because you did a clean lap, you did a legal lap, you did a pole lap, but in hindsight, and also as GPDA director, having seen the scope of the accident, in hindsight, having seen the scope of the accident, having seen that you passed through it with single yellows, are you surprised it was single yellows, especially as you weren't the car behind Verstappen immediately? And is that something to raise?
As I said, I didn't even see the car because the runoff is so far. And I think in that instance, a single yellow was correct. Because as I said, a double yellow is immediate danger. You're never going, lifting 100 meters before a corner or lifting off with a single yellow. You're never going to lose control of the car. Verstappen, the only reason he was in the wall that far away is because he was attacking and lost the car. So, I think the single yellow was correct. I think I did everything right to, be very much under control. And it's a very different story to a double.